let's hope you all are very fine. Let's continue our chapter acid, bases and salt with another compound, that is baking soda. Till the last lecture, we had discussed about caustic soda and bleaching powder and their preparation from the sodium chloride, that is common salt. Now, let's have a look on the third compound according to our syllabus, that is baking soda. Now, baking soda is a very common ingredient which is used in our kitchen. Actually, it is the main ingredient of baking powder. Students, do not confuse with baking soda and baking powder. Baking powder is actually the mixture of baking soda with some more compounds, but its basic constituent is baking soda. Now, the chemical name of baking soda is sodium hydrogen carbonate, and it is also called as sodium bicarbonate, having the chemical formula NaHCO3. Here it is given, the chemical formula NaHCO3. Now, the preparation method, how we can prepare it? Since I have already told you that the preparation of each and every compound is learned with the help of the NaCl. Means the raw material should be NaCl, that is common salt. So, baking soda is prepared by these two-step reaction. In the first step, ammonia react with H2O and CO2 to give NH4NO3, ammonium nitrate. Now, this ammonium nitrate when react with brine, that is concentrated aqueous solution of sodium chloride, then it will give sodium bicarbonate and ammonium chloride. You can also write this reaction as NH3 plus NaCl plus H2O plus CO2. It will give NaHCO3 plus NH4Cl. In many side books, this reaction is given only. So if you write this reaction, this is the overall reaction of these two-step reaction. So if you write this reaction, then also it is correct. And if you split this reaction into two steps, then also it is correct. So basically what we do, the ammonium nitrate reacts with brine to give sodium bicarbonate and ammonium chloride. Now, this ammonium chloride is highly soluble in water, and this sodium bicarbonate is sparingly soluble in water. So what will happen? This dissolve in water and this will not dissolve exactly, or this will not dissolve completely. So we just filter this solution. If we get this as a whole product, we just filter that solution and the solid residue which we get, that we dry and we get the crystals of this sodium bicarbonate. That's why I have written here NH4Cl is highly soluble in water and NaHCO3 is sparingly soluble in water. Hence, this NaHCO3 separates out as solid. It is filtered and dried. So by this process, we can prepare the NaHCO3, that is the baking soda. One more process is there for the preparation of this baking soda, that is with the help of sodium carbonate. But since we have to read about only the preparation method of this baking soda with the help of sodium chloride, that's why we only focus on this. So if a question come in your exam that how can you prepare baking soda, you are not supposed to write any other methods. There are also some other methods which are used in laboratory and in factories to prepare, but since in our course the preparation method is only based on sodium chloride, so you have to write only these reactions. So this is about the preparation of baking soda. Now move to the next topic, that is properties of baking soda. Okay, so let's start the properties. The first property of baking soda is color and state. Since in the last lecture we had discussed about the color and state of bleaching powder. So for the state I just told you that there are two states of solid. First is crystalline, other is amorphous. Amorphous means powdery state and crystalline means sand-like rough appearance. So, bleaching powder in the last lecture that we discussed, that is actually powder, that is amorphous. But baking soda is crystalline. Means if you touch the baking soda, it has some crystalline appearance. Students, again I am telling, don't confuse with the baking powder. So the color and state of baking soda is white crystalline solid. So it is white in color and crystalline is its state. The second property is action of air. It does not react with the air. So we write here, it is stable in air. Third is, and very important also, solubility in water. In the preparation method, we have seen that it is sparingly soluble in water. That is, it is not completely soluble in water. So, when we dissolve this in water, what will happen? NaOH and H2CO3. H2CO3 is carbonic acid. And NaOH, already you know, this is sodium hydroxide. So, sodium hydroxide and carbonic acid is formed. Since carbonic acid is a weak acid, that's why when we dissolve baking soda in water, we get the alkaline solution. Again I am repeating, since alkali is formed during the reaction of baking soda with water, that's why the solution of these two is called as alkaline solution. Here, the byproduct is carbonic acid, but since carbonic acid is a weak acid and NaOH is the strong base, that's why the solution which we get is alkaline in nature. Fourth one is, again it is very important, action of heat. Action of heat means when we heat baking soda, then CO2 is released. And this is the reason that it is used as one of the major constituent of baking powder. All of you know, किसी भी चीज को fluffy बनाना होता है तो हम उसमें baking powder डालते हैं. क्यों डालते हैं? Because उसमें CO2 release होगा. जब heat करेंगे उसको, उसमें से CO2 release होगा and that create a hole and उस hole के चलते वो fluffy लगता है. Just like idli or some bakery products, so many are there. So due to this property of baking soda, it is used as one of the major constituent of baking powder. So, NaHCO3 when heated, it gives Na2CO3 plus H2O plus CO2. So, with the release of CO2, by the release of this CO2 gas, this makes the foods fluffy. That's why we use this baking soda as major constituent of baking powder. Now, the last one is action of acids. How it get reacted with the acids? So, baking soda reacts with acids to give out CO2 with brisk effervescence. Brisk effervescence means झाग. अगर आप reaction करवा रहे हो टेस्ट ट्यूब में तो आपको एक फोम का लेयर मिलेगा. That is actually the effervescence. And brisk effervescence means जैसे ही डालिएगा उसी टाइम आपको इंस्टेंटली वो एक्शन देखने के लिए मिलता है. जस्ट लाइक यू हैव सीन द इनो. अगर आप ग्लास में पानी लेके इनो डालते हैं तो उसका जो फेम है, उसका जो फोम है, वो तुरंत से निकलता है. दैट इज द ब्रिस्क effervescence. Since this is a new term, so by the help of the example of Eno, you can easily understand it. What is this brisk effervescence? So when baking soda react with any of the acid, it will release CO2 and that CO2 is releases out with brisk effervescence. Here one example is given, baking soda plus hydrochloric acid. This will give NaCl plus H2O plus CO2. So these are the properties of baking soda. Very first is the color and state. It is a white crystalline solid. Second is action with air. It is stable in air. It does not react with air. Third is solubility in water. So it is sparingly soluble in water and its solution in water is alkaline in nature due to the production of sodium hydroxide. Next is action of heat. Baking soda by the action of heat releases CO2, which makes the food products fluffy. And the last one is action of acids. So when baking soda reacts with acids, it releases CO2 with brisk effervescence. Now, after the property, the next topic which we are having is the uses of baking soda. So let's have a look. Now the uses of baking soda. So there are three major uses of baking soda. Very first is in medicines, second is in food or in kitchen you can say, and third is in fire extinguisher. Now let's take first, that is in medicines. So in medicines, baking soda is used as an antacid. Antacids means the medicines which is used to release or reduce the acidity. That's why the name is written as antacids, means anti-acidic. So if there is excess acidity in our stomach, then for releasing that acidity, we take some medicines, and this baking soda is used as one of the constituent of those medicines. Now why this baking soda is used? This is due to the reaction that it performs. NaHCO3, when react with the acid present in the stomach already, it will form NaCl, H2O and CO2. So since it form a neutral compound sodium chloride, that's why it is used as one of the antacids. So in the medical field, baking soda has a vital role. Second is in food. Already we have seen in the property that when baking soda is heated, it releases CO2 gas. Since it releases CO2 gas, that's why it creates a hole in the food, and by that hole, the food products become fluffy. That's why this is used in making idli, dosa, or various bakery products and many more. So due to this property or due to this action of baking soda by heat, it is used as major constituent of baking powder. Third is in fire extinguisher. Baking soda is also used in fire extinguisher, specifically in soda acid fire extinguishers. Students in class 8 in the chapter combustion, already you have read about the fire extinguishers, that there are two types of normal fire extinguisher. First is CO2 fire extinguishers, which is very common, which we see everywhere, and second is soda acid fire extinguishers. Since baking soda and sulfuric acid is used in this type of fire extinguishers, that's why it is named as soda acid fire extinguishers. Since this baking soda, when react with this sulfuric acid present in the fire extinguishers, it will produce sodium sulfate with the release of H2O and CO2. This H2O and CO2 helps in extinguishing the fire. H2O lowers the ignition temperature and CO2 cut off the supply of oxygen. So this baking soda is also used for the fire control in fire extinguishers. So these are the three major uses of baking soda. That is, it is used in medicines as an antacid. Second is, it is used in food products. It is used in food or it is used in kitchen. It is used as one of the major constituent of baking powder to make the food products soft and fluffy. And the third one is, it is used in fire extinguishers, specifically in soda acid fire extinguishers. So today we learned about baking soda, how it is prepared, what are the properties, what are its uses, what is the chemical name, what is the chemical formula, means all about the baking soda. In the next lecture, we'll discuss the next compound, that is washing soda. So if you are having any doubt, then you can ask in the comment box. Thank you.